Okay, team, today I wanted to talk to you about the art of follow-up. I think this is one of the most important aspects of your business. This is the kind of the make it or break it of your business. And a lot of us are neglecting this. I think that we, are constantly trying to reach out to new people or have new people reach out to us. And we're forgetting that we already have a huge list of people that are willing to talk to us that we've already made contact with. We just need to follow up with them again. So, what is a follow-up? According to the definition, I know this is silly, but I want to share with you the definition of a follow-up because I think this is where a lot of our objections and excuses that we put on ourselves comes from. So, and a follow-up is a continuation or repetition of something that has already been started or you're already doing. So, it's plain and simple what a follow-up is. It's just digging in farther to what you've already started. So say you make that initial contact with someone or someone starts that initial contact with you. The next step is to follow up with them. And a lot of the times we just neglect to do that. We hear a no or they don't respond to us right away and we write them off. And what winds up happening is 6 months down the line when that person's ready to have someone become their coach, they're ready to invest in a program, they're ready to have someone lead them on this journey, you've neglected them. So they follow up or they find somebody else who hasn't neglected them, who has followed up with them. So one of the most common objections that we hear for following up, and I know that these are probably something that you've all said at one point or another, is I don't want to be annoying. I don't want to feel like I'm pressuring someone. They've already told me no once. They've already told me no 4 or 5 or 6 times. Something that we also hear is, well, won't they follow up with me when they're ready? So I don't want to reach out to them because I don't want to be annoying. I don't want to be salesy. I'm just going to put this on the back burner. I put myself on their radar. And when they're ready, they're going to come to me. Another one is, I don't know what to say. And I hear this one, probably the most common is, I don't know how to start a conversation with the person. I haven't talked to them. They told me no the last time. What do I say to them? What do I do? I haven't talked to them in a month. Would it be weird for me to start a conversation now? How do I start that conversation? And then finally, shouldn't I be spending more time finding more people? So we get, again, caught up in that, well, I need to continue to just reach out and pull as many people as I can in. It doesn't matter if, I have 100 people in my network because 99 have told me no the first time. I'm going to look for 200 more, 300 more to talk to. And yes, we do want to devote a lot of our time to try to, bring more people into our network. We can't neglect the follow-up because that's really where the bulk of our business is going to come from if we're consistent and persistent with our follow-up. So I posted this in the team page earlier, but I want us to really check out these statistics. And I know this is a little blurry because I've blown the image up, but the first time I read this, it was actually quite shocking to me because I was one of those people that kind of neglected the follow-up as well. So if you look at these statistics, and I'm not going to read all of them because you can do that on your own, but if you'll see that almost 50% of salespeople never follow up with a prospect. And we don't want to call ourselves salespeople, but a large part of our job or coaching does involve that sales aspect. 50% of us, half of this team, half of the coaches in the entire Beachbody network never follow up with a person. And that's not, multiple follow-ups. That's not whatever. That's, I made contact with a person or someone's made contact with me and then I've never talked to them again. 50% of people in this network or 50% of people that you've talked to, you've never followed up again. And I know that we all have those people that are immediately coming to our minds of, oh yeah, I remember when she reached out to me and then I never followed up with her. Or I started a conversation with her and then we stopped talking. Or she didn't respond, so then I just never reached out again. 50%. So stop letting that number deter you and deter your business because it's hurting you. Think about where you could be if your business was 50% better or bigger than it is now. And then it says 25% of sales people make a second contact and stop. So these are the people that are making contact. They've made that initial contact, and then they make, the follow-up, whether it's immediately or it's a couple weeks from now or it's a year from now, and then they stop again. And if you'll see that the statistic gets lower and lower, then it goes down to 12% make three contacts or more. 10% make more than 3. Now, if you look on the upside of that, or the opposite side of that, not only the contacts made, but how many percentages of sales are made on that. So the 50% of people that are giving up after that first try, only 2% of sales are made on the first contact. And I know this is a crazy number for us to comprehend, because a lot of us are probably having a little more success than that 2%. So remember that these statistics are not only Beachbody coaches, but these are people that go door to door and sell vacuum cleaners, or any sort of sales, car salesmen. All of these are lumped into the same category, I would say. But still think about it. 2% of all sales are made on the first contact. So if you're reaching out to people once and stopping, you're not going to reach any, think about how limited your network and your reach is going to be. And it goes up by every contact that you make again with that person. But look how incremental it is. The first contact is 2%. Okay, I'm going to reach out again. I make 2 contacts with them. It's only 3%. It barely goes up. Look at the third contact, 5%. And again, we're gaining momentum. We're gaining, the likelihood of them making a sale, but it's still very small. And it looks, if you look at it, we'll skip to the bottom one, but it says 80% of all sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact. And if that tells you something, it's that you have to be consistent with these follow-ups, and you have to be persistent with them, because you need to make at least 5 contacts with people before they're going to commit to something. And I know that you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, that's so many times that I have to follow up with someone. They're going to get annoyed with me. What am I going to say? And you're falling back on all those objections and all those excuses that we talked about on the previous slide. And you can't let those prevent you from pushing forward, because this is where all of your sales are going to be made. 80% of your sales, 80% of your entire business needs to come from these follow-ups. Anybody have anything they want to contribute at this point? I know I've been talking. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is how we can overcome these obstacles and these excuses, or how we can defeat these obstacles and excuses in our own brains. So the first one we talked about is that being annoying. I don't want to annoy people. And here's the truth. If you think that you're being annoying with somebody, you probably are. If you feel that you're getting on their nerves, if you feel that you're saying something that sounds cheesy and salesy, you probably are. If it feels yucky to you intuitively, then it is. So stop. Revamp what you're doing and be genuine. Be genuinely interested and genuinely invested in them, not in you, not in pushing your reason, not in pushing your why. You want to care about their why, their goals. So when you follow up with people, and this kind of goes into the second one, when you follow up with people, you're not pushing a sale. You just want to talk to them. When was the last time you talked to them? What was the last thing you talked about? How did you end that conversation? And then pick it up from there. You want to stay invested in them. And it goes into the second one. If you feel like you're pressuring someone into a sale, they likely feel the same way. And it goes back to the first one is, if you intuitively feel yucky about it, if you're using the word sale, if you come off like you're giving a sales pitch to someone, it's going to feel that way to them. And you know it. If you start leading the conversations with, hey, did you see this is on sale again this month? Hey, if you buy the 21 Day Fix, I'll throw in the cookbook. Hey, if you do this, I'll give you the Target gift card and the cookbook. And we do this. And if you keep adding things in and you're sales pitching it and you're pushing your goals, they're going to see through that and it's going to feel sales pitchy to them. Now, I'm not saying that there's never a time and a place for these sales pitches, but be careful with them when you're starting that lead-in conversation. I definitely think that, you need to have them at a certain point in time, but not, think about when you should follow up and when you should insert those. It shouldn't be that first contact in that follow-up, or the first sentence shouldn't be, hey, this is on sale this month. Here's a gift card, blah, 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 blah. You want to continue to stay focused on their why. So when you're following up with people, don't lead with that sales aspect. Find out what's going on in their life and how you can help them. So maybe the 21 Day Fix is on sale this month and you know that they've shown interest in that program. Rather than leading with, hey, this is on sale this month, start that conversation with, hey, Jenny, how have you been doing with your health and fitness goals? I know that you've been having trouble with your meal portioning. How's that been going for you? And then lead into that conversation. Never start it with that sales pitch aspect because they're going to pick up on it. They're going to feel like they're watching a commercial. And you know how we all feel about commercials. We just skip over them. So they're likely not even to respond. They're likely not even to read it. And then the third point here is stop taking no so personally. Stop taking no's as a final answer and stop prejudging people. If you've not read the book, Go for No, I would highly recommend it. It's a very short read. I think it's under 100 pages. For people that don't like reading, it's under 100 pages and the text is huge. So you feel like it's made for a third grader. So you're like, yeah, I don't have to read a lot. And it's a quick read and it's written almost like a story, but it has the personal development aspect in it and it teaches you, don't take notes personally. It teaches you all of these things. So I highly encourage you to read it. If you haven't already, you can probably get it done in a weekend. But you need to stop taking those no's personally. And I think that we automatically want to take, when someone tells us no, what did I do wrong? Why don't they like me? How can I do something differently? And look at it as they're not ready. And so or they're not ready, or they're not ready now, or they have something going on in their life now where this isn't the right time for them. That's not their final answer. That's their answer right now. So you need to come back to them. And when we take these answers personally from them, we tend to internalize it. We think that something's wrong with us, and we almost take on this defeatist attitude, this embarrassing attitude, and we don't want to go back and approach this person because we don't want them to tell us no again. We already prejudge that they're going to tell us no. Anytime we follow up with them, they've already told us no once, they're going to tell us no again. But what that does is it prejudges them and it taints our entire relationship with them because we've taken it personally and we've accepted that as their final answer. So stop doing that. Just take the no as a no for now, as a no for not right now, and then remember to follow up with them. It has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them and their timing. When it's right with their why, then you'll be able to follow up, and then make that sale. Let's see. Defeating another objection is not everyone is ready, but when they are, be there for them. Plant those seeds and remind them that you're there. One of the biggest downfalls that I see in our businesses, particularly it's something that I struggle with, is I think that we're putting good content out there on social media, and we're posting our workouts, we're posting our Shakeology, we're sharing, we're putting those calls to actions out there. Our challenge group starts Monday, or have you felt this way? Let's join us. We're putting those calls to actions out there. We're planting those seeds, and we think that when that person's ready, they're going to come to me because I constantly put myself on their forefront. And I want you to keep doing that. but don't neglect the fact that you still might need to reach out to them. Not everybody is the kind of person where they're going to recognize, okay, I'm ready. I need your help. There's so many people out there that are ready. They need the help, but they're too afraid to ask for it. So don't be selfish. Don't let them suffer almost because they're too afraid to ask for help. Go back and reach out to them. Not everyone is going to come back to you. And I think that's a false assumption that we have, is that I've put myself out there. They know I'm here for them. When they're ready, they're ready. And some people that's going to work for, but not everybody. So just put it on your own radar to always follow up with them. If you've planted the seeds, just go in there and take that next step, follow up, and remind them you're here for them. Hey, Susan, I know that you wanted to be in my clean eating group last month, but it didn't work out for you. Just wanted to let you know I'm doing one again next month. Are you interested? You're putting the seed, you planted that seed, and now you're following up, letting them know you're there for them. The next point is make friends, be interested, be invested, check in on their goals and progress, and stay relevant to this one, or stay relevant to them. And this point is in regard to the objection of, I don't know what to say. And I think that for me, or from talking to other coaches, this is the biggest objection they have, or biggest excuse or obstacle they have when reaching out and following up with people is, well, what do I say to people? And I think this is all in our heads. We play this game with ourselves where I don't know what to say. What do I do? And we overcomplicate it. We overthink it. These are normal people. These are your friends. These are your followers. These are people you've been talking to. Just go in and talk to them. An easy way to do it is check out their last 4 or 5 posts or their 4 or 5 last status updates. See what's going on in their life. Be interested in what's going on. And then check in with them on those things. Hey, I saw that it was your daughter's birthday. How'd that go? I didn't mention Beachbody. I didn't mention my challenge group. I didn't mention a sale. I'm just checking in with the person. You've noticed that they have been posting a workout. Just say, and it's, say they're doing something totally different than Beachbody. They're doing a Jillian Michaels DVD, or they're following the Tone It Up girls. I don't care. A lot of us will look at that and say, oh, they're doing something else, and write them off. A lot of the times these other things that they're doing aren't going to work out for them. So let them know you see what they're doing. You know that even though it's not a Beachbody product, you're not pushing the product. That's not all that it's about for you. You're still checking in because you care about their goals and their progress. Check in with them. Hey, how's your Jillian Michaels DVD going for you? How do you like the workouts? Whatever. Check in. And then you want to stay relevant to them. And this is not just responding to their posts, but this is almost taking it to the next step and being a little spy or being a little private investigator to their needs. And this takes a little bit more time. So I would say that you can reserve this one for people that you think are more of your hot prospects, or people that you followed up with and now you feel that they're warming up to you, or coach prospects, or anything where you feel that they're worth a little bit more of an investment. And that doesn't mean to say that, some people are worth more than others or anything like that, but people that you feel are more likely to purchase from you or be on board with Beachbody. Find things that interest them. So, say that people know that I'm expecting a baby. You might, look up, hey, I found this article on the FDA, issued new guidance on rice formula. Has nothing to do with Beachbody, has nothing to do with exercise nutrition, but it lets them know that you're following what they're doing and you found something that's exciting or relevant to them, and you're putting it on their radar. And what this does for people is it makes them feel like you truly care about them. And that's what we want. We want to show them that it's not about a sale. It's not about, pushing product. It's about making friends with people, and it's about building relationships. And when people feel that they can trust you, that they are a friend to you, that they're an investment, they're an interest to you, not just a sale or a challenge pack, that's when they're more likely to open up, not just their feelings, but open up their wallets to you as well. Next point is there's never a bad time to follow up. And this is for people that, we follow it up. Monday, we send them an email. Wednesday, we check in with them. They haven't responded. Next Monday, we send them an email. And then 3 months goes by and we feel like, oh man, like I can't talk to them now because I haven't talked to them for 3 whole months. Or, they ordered Shakeology from me last January, but I haven't followed up with them since then, so I can't talk to them now. There's never a bad time to follow up. No one is going to judge you because, oh, you haven't talked to me in a year and I'm going to write you off. It doesn't matter. Take the same approach that we've been talking about. Stay interested in them. Feel the situation out, but I don't think you should ever apologize for not being in contact with people because that just draws attention to it. People are so busy and so self-consumed with their own life that they probably don't even remember that it's been a year since they talked to you. As long as you just stay invested and stay interested in them, they're not going to care. There's a lot of people that I follow up with every year on their birthday because it's an easy reminder for me to follow up with them. Because Facebook sends that little notification, it's these 5 people's birthday. And I know on that day, I'm going to follow up with those 5 people. And every year, it's the same 5 people, unless my friends list grows, I'm going to have more. But it's those same people that I'm following up with. And they may not always respond. They may, not ever buy anything. But I'm always going to follow up with people on their birthday. And they're not going to take it personally because I follow up with them once a year. They're just going to appreciate that I say happy birthday every year and check in with them. So there's never a bad time to follow up. And then last point is your business depends on the follow-up. Going back to that, initial slide with those sales statistics, 80% of sales are made after the 5th or more contact. Just proves that we have to be consistent and persistent with these follow-ups. One contact with someone is not going to do it. You have to maintain that relationship, continue to grow that relationship, and pester them. Or I wouldn't use the word pester, but I would follow up and continue to have that follow-up. So that's all the slides I have for today. On our next team call, I don't know if that's a fire truck or a police car or what's going on. Our next team call, what we're going to talk about is ways to track our follow-ups, because all of this is great stuff, but if you have no idea who you're following up with or how to keep track of the first contact to the 5th contact, it's not going to help you at all. So next week, we're going to go through a couple processes, whether you like to do it on pen and paper, if you're an Excel kind of person, or if you like to apply technology and use a couple different systems. We'll talk about Asana, we'll talk about Streak, and we'll talk about Google Docs, are ways that a lot of us, or many of us, are incorporating the follow-up in our own business so that we can track the process. Because when you're able to track the process from start to finish, not only will you feel more complete because you can see the A to Z, but you'll be able to understand who your important players are in your business and who you need to continue to follow up and how you can rate them on where they fall within your business. So thanks for jumping on. I'm going to stop the recording now and then